Hello and welcome to Film Companion South. Today we will talk about Beast, a film by Nelson. The earlier two films of Nelson made me realize that here is a filmmaker with a sense of style of his own. His earlier two films, Kolamau Kokila and Doctor, definitely told us that here is a filmmaker who seems to be in good control of his script, of the kind of performances that he wants and the kind of compositions that he manages to bring about. He had a very quirky style of comedy and which really impressed a lot of us. It reminded me of two earlier filmmakers and I want you all to see him. One of them is of course Buster Keaton, the master, and another one is the French filmmaker called Jacques Tati. Both these filmmakers had ways of telling a story in which the characters took themselves very seriously and went about their activities in ways that they were very involved in. But the camera and the filmmakers, we see it in very humorous ways. We see the ridiculousness of their activities. We see the funny side of their behavior. Now that is so unusual. Something which reminded me of a wonderful filmmaker like Sangeetham Srinivasa Rao, who did a Kamal Haasan starrer called Pushpak, in which the characters go through a lot of very, very serious episodes for themselves, but we, the audiences, saw it as full of fun. Nelson continues this tradition of Pushpak and brings his films more closer to absurd drama than any kind of emotional realism. And I think that was his forte. Sadly, Beast watches the clash of two distinct pathways. There is Nelson's style, as I have already spoken about, and there is Vijay's repertoire. And Vijay's repertoire demanded a lot of bravado, 4 songs ranging from typical mass appeal Koothupattu to very, very sentimental romantic songs. His films must have great messages and a lot of family sentiment. Sadly, Beast is beaten at its own game. First of all, choosing to stage almost an entire story in one location requires enormous planning, enormous storyboarding, enormous visualization, pre-visualization, and that has not happened. Instead, what you see is quirky sense of humor as demonstrated by Nelson versus Vijay's macho fight scenes. Audiences want Vijay to dominate the scenes, but Nelson has his own ways of putting in very, very side characters. They have no consequence at all to the story, but somehow having the best dialogues in the film. Now, this unsettles the film progress in story. If Nelson had some very quirky music styles in his earlier two films, this film is dominated by Anirudh's stereotypical music, which is high octane, high volume, low bass, loud sound, which you see in most mainstream films. If Nelson's earlier works had vibrant women characters, this film loses them all. It was really sad to see a character like Pooja Hegde, who came in so powerful in the beginning, dominating the scene, suddenly getting lost into a crowd. So I felt sad that because one had seen Vijay's earlier films, like Bigil, where he had given so much space to women. Ultimately, this film has sincerely no space for women at all. So coming back to Beast, I thought there is a lot of introspection to be done for myself. And so what did I learn from this film? One thing I learned definitely is that doing a lot of promos, earlier promos on varieties of social media helps push the film forward. In fact, I have never witnessed audiences sitting through the last item song in which they'll be walking away, where the credit titles roll. But here I saw audiences sitting and watching the Gymkhana song. It seems that they had been waiting for this song thanks to all the social media that they have witnessed. Second thing I learned was Tamil cinema has now come to understand multiple language as their staple diet. So this film has Hindi, it has Tamil, it has English, all being spoken very frequently. In fact, you find amazing that these so-called Pakistani characters coming into India speaking Tamil. And you say, wow. In fact, there are sequences where there's English dominating the whole scene. And when they do speak Hindi, you do get Tamil subtitles. But this is very interesting to see that Tamil cinema is now willing to deal with other languages. Last but not the least, I am sure a lot of Tamil audiences would have left the film theatre to go and check in the dictionary what is the real meaning of beast. I asked at least 100 people over the last 1 week, Tamil people, to know if they know the meaning of beast. They don't know the meaning. But it is nice to go see a film with a title they don't even know about. But they will go back and study English. So I think to that extent, we have to credit these kind of films for allowing literacy to grow some way or the other. So if you are satisfied with the promos on YouTube and various social media of Beast, I think you should remain happy having seen them. Till we meet next, thank you.